What's up?
What's up, buddy?
What's happening? What do we got here? Oh, yeah.
This crappy Ford block.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope everybody had a happy and safe New Year. We're starting the year off strong right now. Just got a really good phone call from my buddy Keith, who's building the motor for me on this car. Super knowledgeable guy. Very particular, very good with Ford engines. He knows them inside and out. We had to get some machine work done, so we took the motor up to Lawfer Racing in Vero Beach, who did a wonderful job bringing this motor back to life. So we're gonna go pick it up, see what it looks like, because we got to bring it back here to get some paint on it before he puts it together and builds it. So let's go. Woo-wee! So is this guaranteed to split apart or what?
It all depends on how much you turn that boost up.
So what's the story with this thing?
Punched her out, she's 40 over now. All squared up. Quite a bit out. Hand bearings, little oil work, some tap and plug work. Keep it under 5.
Keep it under 5, right?
For sure. But they will take more.
All right, bro. So I guess, what do you want me to do with this thing? You want me to get rid of this Ford Racing Blue here and clean her all up and?
Put your little touch to it. You gotta put that Tony D freestyle touch on there.
All right. So we'll take it back to the house. I'll clean it all up. Get a little paint on there. I'm not going to go too crazy with the paint. Just going to give it a one uniform solid color. Get rid of this Ford Racing Blue, and I'm going to keep the motor light because I like my engines to be lighter, not painted black. Only because you can see any little leaks or anything like that will be a lot more obvious. They got this thing straightened out. They had to deck the block. They had to bore it out. So right now it's got a 40 over bore in it. We had to get new pistons, all new internals. It is a 349 stroker now, okay? So all the machine work for the stroker part of it has been done, and we just want to make it look good now. So if you could see, it's very shiny, very clean, and there's a lot of oil. I don't know if now you can see it. A lot of oil on this, all right? That's what you want. You want to keep it oiled, all right? So part of the problem with doing engine work and paint work at the same time is that the two don't mix. So we've got to be very careful about not getting any paint inside here, keeping this clean, keeping this oiled. We don't want it to rust or anything like that. We just want to do a nice quick job getting all this nice and painted, and we want to keep the paint thin. We don't want to build up too much paint material on here, even though it's already been painted, looks like at least once. All right. So we're going to get this thing cleaned up, masked off. Get ready to get some paint on it. Make it look nice. Because we're running a Canton oil pan and the new dipstick is in the pan itself. So right now we got to tap this real quick before we do anything else. This way we don't make a mess of our new paint job. Alright guys, so we got this all tapped out. I used a 1/8 NPT tap. The hole was just the right size for the tap, so I didn't have to do any drilling. All I had to do is run the tap there and cut some threads. Alright, I don't know if you can see those threads or not. I know it's not really focusing too well, but they're good. We're going to use a little Permatex product. It's thread sealant. Good stuff. It's been around forever. Alright, just a little bit. The last person that built this motor, they took a nice fat glob of RTV silicone and just filled the hole with it. So, you know, it's whatever. All right, that's just whatever. Okay, see, nice and snug. All right, that'll do it, guys. So that's what it looks like. All right, nice, clean, not all boogered. First things first, wax and grease remover, lint-free towel. All right, I'm just going to go over the gasket surfaces. I'm not going down into the cylinder bores. This is just so I can get some tape on here so it sticks somewhat. You know, there's so much oil on everything right now, the tape's not really going to want to stick well, but we'll do the best we can. Just do not paint your motor mount lugs. You need a good ground here. Okay, both sides. If you paint these and you start off with a bad ground right off the rip on your main ground, all right, you're going to have gremlins. You don't want gremlins in your electrical system, and it starts with that. Okay, so I'll have several grounds on the motor, one on the cylinder head. Main ground is going to be one of these lugs. Okay, especially when you're running any type of EFI system, guys. All right, EFI grounds are very important, so make sure we don't paint those. Okay.
Invincible.
All right, all taped up, nicey nice. Okay, red Scotch-Brite, cut a little square, just scuff it up. All right, nothing crazy. Don't got to go too nuts on this. This is, you're just going to get some color on here and stop it from rusting. It's not like we're looking for perfection out of this. There's a time when you got to be perfect, and there's a time where you don't have to be so perfect. Right? The point of this is more of the masking than anything, because you don't want to get any of this paint inside the engine. All right, so mask it up real good. Try to get it as clean as possible. A little wax and grease remover. Wipe it down nice. Try to get as much as that. It's not going to be perfect. All right, this is, in order to get this perfect, you really have to have this motor prepped prior to the machine work, and we weren't really trying to do that at the time because we didn't know if this block was going to be good. So that makes it a little bit more difficult for the actual paint. But when you're building a motor, the paint really isn't your biggest priority, you know. Little self-etch primer. All right. Not too much, just a little bit. Put this stuff on real light. And definitely don't try to cover it in the first pass. Just a little bit like that. That's it. All right. So we're getting ready to mix up our paint here. And here's where I'm going to change things up a little bit. Single stage urethane. Okay? 3-to-1 product. But I'm going to switch it up on you guys a little bit. I'm going to mix this 3-to-1 product. I'm going to show you how I'm going to mix it. Here's my cup. Here's my stirrer. Drop a little bit of paint in there. Okay? I'm not looking at the measurements. I'm looking at the consistency of the paint. You want this paint to be thin. I'm not trying to create a heat barrier on this motor by adding more paint than it's already on. I want to keep it as thin as possible, but we want it to be strong at the same time. We don't want it to flake off, right? So, we got our self-etch prime on. It's drying. Now, we're going to activate it. My stick. A little bit more. I'm just looking at the paint. Look, if you compare what I'm doing right now to the material safety data guide, this isn't the way to mix this paint. However, I'm painting an engine block. Paint's not made for painting engine blocks. And can we go buy an aerosol can? Absolutely, we can buy engine paint, high heat paint, okay? This stuff's better than that, right? It'll hold up the temperature, it'll handle all the abuse that the surface of the engine can throw at this paint. It'll last for a long time. And we have a lot more control of it putting it on this way with the gun. However, now what we're gonna add is this. No matter how good you clean it, there's always gonna be oil stuck in the pores. It's cast iron. There's always going to be oil stuck. All right, so we're going to throw a little of this in there. All right, this is going to stop the fish eyes. Basically, you're adding like silicone. Throw a little bit of that. I don't know how much, ½ ounce or so. All right, you're throwing silicone into the paint. All right, let's look at it. Yep. So. Kind of thin. Okay. I'm going to put 1 drop. One drop of reducer. By doing this, it's going to help the paint dry, but at the same time, when I put it on dry, it's going to help the paint have a little bit of a satin finish. All right, we don't need it to be super glossy. All right, so it's a quick little drop of that. Ready to rock and roll. Okay, mix it up real good. So let's go. I'm about just over 20 pounds. Okay. So I'm going to put this paint on nice and dry. Nothing crazy. You see, I'm not pulling the trigger all the way. All right, I'm just giving it a little throttle, okay? Getting into these little cracks and stuff. You got to make the paint turn the corners. Okay.
Invincible.
Ready to go to the builder now. Okay? Nice clean job. One thing I want to show you. While cleaning the engine block out and everything like that, I took the time to take the oil pan, clean that real good. Got the spider, clean that. Roller rockers, cleaned all those. Got them oiled. Get everything here oiled up. All right? Pickup tube, everything. The oil pump. All right? So I got everything packed, ready to go to the builder. Oh, I drilled I had to drill a bung hole, right here, because my turbo drain needs to be here, not where it came from Canton. Okay, so this is ready to go. Got the timing cover cleaned up, ready to go. Spray bomb that real quick, and you know there's a certain etiquette. You know, you want the builder to focus on building the engine, not cleaning everything, all right? So I clean everything as good as possible. This way he has no worries. You got to take some pride in your stuff too, because you know you don't want the machine shop or your engine builder or anything like that. You don't want them to have to worry about the cleaning, or the heavy cleaning at least, okay? I got everything pretty good, all right? Scraped all my gasket stuff off, and you know, got everything real nice, ready for them, so they don't have to worry about it. We want them to worry about doing the best job they can do as far as the actual machining and building versus them cleaning, okay? So that's something just to keep in mind. So this is just another step in the journey, and it's all going to start making sense when all these parts start coming together, all right? So stay tuned for the next one. I do got to get into the suspension and the brake setup for you guys on this car. This way it starts making sense. One thing to get out of it, like I said, remember your grounds. Make sure you don't paint your grounds. Take your time, nice and clean. Use the right products, and you're going to get a good result, okay? All right, guys, so catch you in the next one, all right? Peace.